Hello, Sag. You guys have a very interesting image that I start with this week. First of all, as I tune into you, I want to take a big sigh and just go, it's like, finally, I get to exhale. So I feel this is a good omen for wherever you're moving and whatever you're doing. The first image that comes to me is of a circus or a fairground. And there's an organ grinder with a monkey, and you're the organ grinder. But now you're no longer running the show for everybody else. Now you're walking around and you're enjoying yourself. You're having a little bit of caramel corn and very definitely caramel corn, not popcorn, caramel corn. Why is that important? Because it's sweet. Because now it's sweetness for you. Now it's coming up on a time where you're going to be experiencing and enjoying yourself, maybe for the first time. It's interesting because, Sagittarius is considered to be a very playful sign. But for the Sagittarians I'm reading for today, I'm seeing that you've come from a childhood where there were a lot of either assigned or assumed responsibilities that you had for the family, for the health of the family, and for managing. Now, whether or not you were aware of it, whether or not it was, for example, a parental situation that was difficult that you were managing and trying to negotiate the emotions of, or whether or not it was a perfectly loving family, but there was struggle in the family, there was this predisposition that you ended up with to work and work and work and work some more. And you're very capable of it. There's no question that you're very capable of it. You are a fire sign. You have a tendency to be able to think very well, very cohesively, coherently, able to really put things together. Very smart. But in the process of this, people didn't always understand how much of a strain things were on you because you have a tendency to be there, to show up, and because you do have a playful attitude, people didn't always get the fact that there was a real struggle for you and that there was a lot of pressure that you carried with you that prevented you from really playing. So a playful attitude and being able to laugh and have fun sometimes as an attitude is one thing, but if you don't incorporate play into your life, like real play as a balance out of energy, it can be exhausting. And you've had a tendency to feel as though you needed to work really, really hard, that somehow if you had too much pleasure, you were going to not succeed in what you were hoping to succeed for. But what I'm getting here is that for many of you, it really was an unconscious sense that hard work was necessary. Whether or not it was because that's what was expected for you to achieve, or whether it was because in your mind that's what would change your story so you wouldn't repeat what had gone on. Much of this happened at a subconscious level for you. But I definitely get a sense for who I'm reading for now. There was that real sense of being penned into a certain way of being because of family situations. What you're being asked now to do, and what some of you have already done, but what many of you are doing now, is you are in the process of getting the monkey off your back, and thus the organ grinder. The monkey is getting off your back. Now, what you may notice is the monkey may hop on again from time to time, and that's going to look like the overworrying, the overworking, the thinking you should be doing more, the trying to figure it out. That's the monkey that jumps on. What you're being asked to do is when that monkey shows up, send the monkey over there and just say, for now, I'm going to take a chance that if I allow myself to really experience pleasure and to believe that I don't have to overwork and struggle in order to make a difference in any given situation that you're in, that it is going to work out, that your stress is not going to help it. So the risk success card here is take a chance, act as though everything you do might be the best possible choice. So even if it's play, everything you do is the best possible choice. You don't have to decide what's the best possible choice. Do what you want and risk that it's the right one. Okay? Commit to it, engage in life, willing to take the chances that will move you forward to whatever success you desire, or even to the fulfillment of one you've not yet identified. And then you get right on top of that quantum leap of faith. Okay? This means that beyond logical expectation, beyond the linear projections of our minds, there is a place of free fall. Here, you trust that what feels like leaping into the unknown void is really sailing on the winds of the infinite, unlimited benevolence, which will guide you wisely to your best, most graceful landing. So for those of you who are still struggling with getting the monkey off your shoulder, this is really where you need to look at how can you engage in the idea of faith and trust that there is help for you, even if you give up that struggle and that efforting. Okay? Take a chance. Take a chance on that. Take a chance on looking at whatever situations are holding you back in a new light. But I also feel it's so important that it's really you being willing to look at your childhood story and look at what you've carried with it that's holding you back, that's keeping that monkey attached to you. Okay? Because Sag, you guys have carried way more than you needed to carry for a really, really long time. You've really had burdens, emotional, physical, economic burdens. And it's time for you to let that beautiful spirit out, to really celebrate and play, to eat that popcorn, to enjoy some of that beauty in life, and trust that the world is not going to fall apart when you do that. Because that's what it felt like when you were a kid, was that there was always that potential of things going ass over tea kettle, as my grandmother would say. That if you didn't keep things in line, in order, in some way, even if it was just in your head with a plan, that things were going to go chaotic, and that was too insecure for you to be able to cope with. So you developed all of this pattern. It's so not what you need to do now. It's about trusting and moving towards that element of faith that there is more for you. Can you look at what you need to let go of from your childhood? Can you look at what the old story is and give it up? Because you're really being asked to take a chance on succeeding in a new way by having faith. All right, my dears? That's it for you, Sag. Take care.